All right, so we are live on YouTube and live on Periscope as well. So I hope everybody had a great Monday and Tuesday so far. We have quite a bit to talk about. I think everybody is anxious to talk about some Raw and to talk about some SmackDown Live because I thought tonight's SmackDown Live was a pretty good show tonight. So don't forget to share the broadcast if you don't mind and retweeting it as well. We do appreciate all the hearts and super hearts as well. Thank you, Jeffrey Cross. And welcome everybody as well. So I'm going to pull up the old Raw from last night, but I think everybody has their own opinions on what happened last night on Raw. I've heard a lot of mixed reactions on what happened last night, how y'all felt about the Brock segments and Raw in general. So we're going to kind of not do the same old what we disliked, what we didn't like. I'm just going to pretty much touch on the main topics, main subjects on what happened last night on Raw. So we had Brock Lesnar obviously there on Raw. We had shown Brock Lesnar backstage with Paul Heyman with Reigns opening up Raw with a nice little promo, I guess you can say. The same old really kind of stuff that said as he usually does. I'm trying to pull it up. Here he does. Let me see. He he said, let me just quote this because this is what got the internet going. And that was to relay a message to Brock Lesnar. And that it was, if Lesnar does not show up, he will send him back to the UFC, but not as the Beast, but as Reigns' bitch. And of course, when you use a cuss word on Monday Night Raw, the crowd goes crazy. So, I thought the opening segment was pretty good. To me, it was the same rinse and repeat promo you get from Paul Heyman. But, it wasn't that a bad promo. It's just the same stuff that we get every time he's on the show, pretty much. And Reigns held his own as well. So we'll go to you, Dave. Your thoughts of the opening segment of Monday Night Raw last night.
Well, you said it's the same old Heyman promo we get, but to me, it was the same old promo we get with Reigns when he's facing Brock Lesnar. I mean, that's a ha ha ha. I'm the big dog. You're a bitch. That's all he ever says anymore. He did the stuff with John Cena too about calling him a bitch. It's like that's his favorite go-to word.
No, Alex, tonight he is starting to work night, so he'll be back on the show most likely this weekend. So let's all wish him luck working nights. I'm not watching anymore because he said bitch, right? They have to have this storyline as edgy as they can. So why not have Roman Reigns throw out the bitch word and get things going for the opening segment of Raw? What about you, Justin? What did you think of the opening segment of Raw last night?
I mean, the opening segment to me was okay.
JT?
I mean, that's basically like everybody says. That's the same promo that we see from Reigns and from Paul Heyman. So I mean, it's kind of expected when they talk to each other. I mean, to be the best part to come out of that was when Heyman first saw Brock Lesnar last night. How Lesnar was, I wasn't watching. I don't care. He was just reading his Backwoods Sportsman, whatever magazine that was. So Lesnar.
Was Brock Lesnar acting like about 80% of wrestling fans right now when they watch Raw? They are reading a magazine or doing something else while they're watching Raw. It seems like that was kind of taking shots at the fans, it seems like.
Yeah, it almost was.
A little bit to me. And it could be Brock being Brock. I'm sure Brock doesn't give a shit about Raw or wrestling in general.
Maybe he's making fun of himself.
Yeah, he could be making fun of himself as well. So, yeah, I mean, I thought and Dave touched on this as well on Twitter. I thought the backstage segments with Brock Lesnar overall were pretty good. I thought they were pretty entertaining.
They definitely were.
Now, let me get you guys' thoughts on this because they did kind of throw in a little bit of a twist throughout Raw, which was Brock Lesnar kind of being a little bit of a bully towards Paul Heyman, even at one part calling Paul Heyman not even his friend. And at the end of Raw, where we finally did see Brock Lesnar finally show up in the ring and murder Kurt Angle and scare off Baron Corbin, we saw him put his hands on Paul Heyman and pretty much of a threat, and it looked like we may see I don't know if this was just – to me, I thought it was a nice little tidbit to throw into it because if you don't have that interaction with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar last night. It's going to be the same old storyline, same old buildup it's been for the last couple of years. Now you get Heyman in this bully by Brock segment, and where maybe we could see a swerve to where he helps Roman Reigns win, or maybe this is all a plan all along to help Brock keep the title. We don't know, but we'll go with you, Justin. What did you think of the whole Paul Heyman and Brock stuff, where pretty much Brock Lesnar is threatening Paul Heyman throughout the night?
I don't know. I mean, we basically seen this before. They did this, I think, back in 02 or 03. They did something this similar as this, and Heyman actually helped him in the end. So, I mean, it's yet to see what's going to happen, but that's what it looks like to me, honestly.
Do you think it's just Paul Heyman pulling on an act to throw one over the fans? Is that what you're thinking? Thank you,
yeah.
Graf. Appreciate that.
That's what I'm thinking right now, yes. I mean, that's what it looks like to me.
And I was watching the Dr. Hughes show before earlier today, and he did make a good point to where Brock is leaving more than likely to the UFC, taking that time off away from the WWE. And Paul Heyman, yes, he is currently, I guess, writing for the Raw. He's on the writing team. Well, you know, that was what we read about a couple of weeks ago. Maybe this is a way of getting Paul Heyman onto another wrestler. Maybe this is a way to get Paul Heyman onto maybe a Reigns, or transition to him to a Strowman, or maybe to someone else.
I would say Rousey, honestly.
Thank you for putting out there for the Super Heart, man. I really do appreciate that. Y'all are being very generous tonight. Thank you, guys.
That would make the most, Justin.
Yeah.
What do you think about this stuff? Do you think it's going to transition to Paul Heyman being another manager, or do you think it's really nothing? We should just sweep it underneath the rug. We'll go with you, Justin.
I'm undecided on that yet. I'm on the fence. I can go 50-50, I guess.
What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I think he should, like Justin just said. I was thinking about it yesterday too. Like, man, what if Paul Heyman came out to the ring with Brock and Ronda Rousey standing side by side? I mean, that's, even though it's not going to be Brock probably anymore, but him advocating for Ronda Rousey would be perfect. Her promos aren't great anyway. I mean,
exactly.
We talked about this, Paul Heyman managing Asuka once upon a time as well too, but it would fit. I mean, him managing him bringing in the UFC people, and basically, even though we know it wasn't because of him, Ronda came in, but it would work. I think, yeah, having Ronda and Heyman would work perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people we probably would love to see Heyman team up with in either the tag division, like someone like Bob Ruski put in AOP, or even a Ronda Rousey, I think everybody. I would just love to see the reaction of the WWE universe if somehow Paul Heyman was to cost Brock the match, Roman Reigns wins, and at the end of the night, Paul Heyman's raising Roman Reigns' hand. I would just love to hear what type of reaction he would get. Would that be the first time he gets a full cheer? Do you think he would get cheered, Dave, if that happened, or do you think that he would still get booed?
I think he would still get booed because no one likes Roman.
Exactly, I agree.
And it's not because he's a face. It's because people just don't like him. I don't think it would change much if he was a heel either. Maybe it would, but I just don't.
Thank you for the super hearts again, man. Y'all are very generous. Thank you for the regular hearts. Appreciate all the support you guys are giving us tonight. Thank you, guys. I really thought Strowman might cash in last night, and I thought it would have been a perfect opportunity to see at least a tease, of a cash in. Thank you, Morris, for the super hearts. Really appreciate that. I even put on Twitter, how about have Strowman come out there, lay wood, take out Brock, tease a cash in, and who comes out to ruin it? Kevin Owens. Perfect guy to ruin the night, because he even said it during the night. Oh man, if Braun Strowman cashes in, there goes my match. There goes my opportunity of winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. And that would have been a perfect time to kind of play off that, to have Strowman cash in, save the day. And, Kevin Owens comes out there and be the ultimate heel and ruin it. What would you think?
That's really quick. I think. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think the biggest difference is with your Money in the Bank winners are usually cheap, sneaky heels. And that's why you'd see all those false cash-ins. And I think with a guy like Strowman, I don't think you want to see him do a bunch of false cash-ins. When he cashes in, that's going to be it. He's going to win the title.
Okay, fair point. What about you, Justin?
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with Dave, and also I think Strowman's going to leave no matter what. I mean, I guess it depends on how the crowd's going to be that day. But I mean, if they're crapping on the match and if Roman wins and they're just going at it like they always do, I think he's going to send out Strowman to pin him and take the belt off of him.
Oh, you're a funny Red Sox fan. Yeah, I kind of have to agree with Dave. I think that's a good point. I mean, he is the monster, and if you want to play keep the part of the monster, it should take the monster only one time to cash in and win the belt. So it makes a good point, Dave. Another news coming out of Raw from last night was Ronda Rousey. We had a match between Natalya and Alicia Fox. No, we're not talking about that match in particular, but what was talked about after the match, where after the match, Rousey attacks Bliss and Fox. Rousey takes out Fox for the moment, chases Bliss, but then ends up getting caught by Alicia Fox from behind, and Alicia Fox lays it on her, gets one up on Ronda Rousey, and that's when we get the big news. Kurt Angle announced that next week on Raw, Ronda Rousey will have her first singles match on live TV against Alicia Fox. Dave, quick question. How long will this match last?
Not long at all, probably. But, I mean, you know what? It's cool. I'm glad really, I don't want to do in dislikes, but something I hated about this segment was Natalya got kicked in the face and got beat 1-2-3. Natalya got, twist slammed by Alicia Fox got slammed by Ronda. And then she gets up in time to come out there and beat the crowd. Right, it's 2 seconds later, and they're both beat the crowd for 5 minutes. Natalya's still laid out in the ring from one kick, but yet
Mickey James did the same thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but this just looks weird. Natalya's just laying there when they're all both been up for beating the crap out of Ronda. That just made no sense to me. But yeah, you know what? I'm actually glad she's actually going to wrestle on Raw. She's going to destroy Alicia Fox, of course. But to get someone like that wrestling on Monday Night Raw is pretty cool. Because she's a big mainstream star, so that's going to be awesome to see. A first time ever her wrestling on TV.
Oh, Benchmark, appreciate you coming in here, dude. I saw you on Dr. Huge earlier today. You did a great job. It was a really good show earlier today. And I agree with you. So imagine the buzz Monday morning, afternoon, this Raw is going to get. Yes, it's Alicia Fox. Yes, this match will probably last less than a minute. But, hey, it's her getting a match on Raw, something that we probably never thought we were going to see at least anytime soon before she won the title. And it's against Alicia Fox, so it's going to be what it is. It's going to be probably a drag down, what is it, the hip toss and an arm submission and tap out. And we'll probably get Bliss running to the locker room again. He's a chicken shit champion. That's what I just don't like. I get it, it's Rousey, but I would rather – I hate when they have – look at Carmella, for instance.
At least, yeah.
We always compare the two to Alexa Bliss. And we don't necessarily maybe care for them as champions, but look at Carmella. She doesn't back down from nobody. Even if it was Asuka, yeah, she kind of played that chicken shit, but she still didn't back down from her. Bliss is scared of everyone on Raw. Everybody. She does. It gets kind of to the part where it's just annoying to a sense. You know what I mean? And I can't believe I'm giving Carmella. I'm very hard on her, but she's done very well the last couple of weeks to where I'm actually liking her as a champion more than I am as Bliss. And I just don't like the way they book Alexa Bliss as a champion. She should not – I get it's Rousey, and I know that she's a scary-ass woman, but, I mean, it would be nice for Bliss to kind of step up a bit, or is that too much to ask?
She definitely needs to, that's for sure.
But you do complain when they make Alexa Bliss tap out, but what did we see tonight?
Yeah, we saw Carmella tap out. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. And we'll touch on SmackDown Live on that triple threat because, I got some thoughts on that. All right, so next we did get Finn Balor, Baron Corbin. Not really too much to talk about that other than we're probably going to get the rubber match at SummerSlam because Baron Corbin did pick up the victory. And again, it's a shame what they're doing to Finn Balor. I even put it on Twitter on a poll. Should Finn Balor just be put on 205 Live? Because at least on 205 Live, this man would actually stand a chance of winning a championship. His booking since his injury and losing the title has actually been pathetic. And I get it, he's small. It's not believable as him as champion, but come on, man. For him to not even get a shot at the title since his injury, that he technically never really lost, is a bit pathetic. Is a bit pathetic. Anything you guys want to chime in on this, Dave, Justin?
Oh,
I wish the feud was over. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, because my power just flickered off and I'm back on again.
You're good. You're good. Dave?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. Did you hear what I asked you?
I thought you asked Justin something, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. I said, is there anything you want to touch on with Balor and Corbin?
That was shit. No, thank you.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. After that, we did get the backstage segments with not Baron Corbin, but Brock Lesnar. And that's, man, another heat Brock Lesnar got on Twitter, everybody, was the way he likes his steak. It was a crime to hear him say what kind of steak he liked. And I thought that was hilarious. People called him out on that. I thought that was funny as hell. Let's get to another kind of upsetting segment, shall we? And that's Elias and Bobby Lashley.
Oh, God.
We have Elias out there promoting himself as well. If you haven't heard, he has an album out or a couple of songs out. You can get them on, I guess, Spotify. I know they're on YouTube as well. And also on the WWE Network as well. You had Bobby Lashley do a singing segment.
Oh, my God.
Elias. Seriously, man. I mean, this 5 months ago, maybe not even, like half a year ago, Bobby Lashley was the ass-kicking machine on Impact Wrestling. And then you have him transition to Raw, and he's singing lullabies or whatever the fuck with Elias. Like, seriously, man?
And he didn't even get the words right.
Right. I mean, this is Bobby Lashley, an ass kicker, a guy that used to be in Bellator and he was champion in Impact Wrestling, putting on pretty good matches. And now they have it to where I have no faith in what they're going to do with Bobby Lashley. No faith. And it looks like we got our SummerSlam match coming up with Elias and Bobby Lashley. Any thoughts on this, guys?
It was stupid.
Yeah, I have a thought on it. I mean, not too long ago, somebody even put it on Twitter, I think. Bobby Lashley held every single title in Impact Wrestling, or at the time it was TNA. And now, I mean, I'll give Roman credit for this too. He did give major props and say, I respect Bobby Lashley. I hated they kept calling him Bob, though. He should have said, okay, just Bobby Lashley. But he did give him props and said, I respect Bobby Lashley. So that was good, at least they're trying to make him a star and getting kind of a rub from Roman Reigns. I guess that's the new John Cena rub. When he puts you over, you're good. But yeah.
You're absolutely right, Freddie. Freddie's absolutely right. Vince is turning Bobby Lashley into a walking LOL. Basically, this guy's a joke, man. This guy's almost the size of Brock Lesnar, right?
He could dominate the whole roster.
And he's out there singing songs with Elias. He should have grabbed that guitar and beat the shit out of Elias with it. Like, seriously, like.
You know what I thought? I know I was way stupid for thinking this. I was so dumb. When he mentioned The Rock, I was like, we're in Miami, Florida. What if The Rock comes out? That'll just blow up Twitter right now. You know, I was thinking that because they're in Miami. And I was stupid for thinking that, obviously. But, yeah. I mean, I was just thinking, like, what if The Rock just comes out and does a little promo on him? That'd be kind of cool. But, yeah. Of course not.
Yeah, now you're dreaming there. But the call out for The Rock was a nice little touch. Definitely got the heat over with the crowd. And we'll see what goes down next with Elias and Bobby Lashley. I'm pretty sure we're going to probably see them wrestle each other at SummerSlam. Then we had another backstage segment. I got to give Raw some, at least WWE, some credit. They did freshen up Raw a little bit to where we saw a little bit more backstage segments. And yes, guys that we probably would never see on the show ever, like a Mike Kanellis, Guys like that in the locker room. We had a Mojo and Bobby Roode little throwdown in the locker room. Guys you probably would never see on Raw, kind of like Kurt Hawkins as well. On Raw, in a segment, in a breakup. Yes, it is what it is, but hey, you got to see guys that you never would probably see before. Dave, any thoughts on the backstage segments we saw last night on Raw?
This is just like Bobby Lashley. Bobby Roode was he still has the record for the longest reigning TNA champion. And no offense to these guys at all. They're all good workers. I get that. They're all great guys. I get it. But he was a former world champion, and he was a big star in TNA. He was even a big star in NXT, and now he's back there doing backstage 30-second segments with guys like Mojo Rawley.
Well, WWE dropped the ball with Bobby Roode. Plain
Absolutely.
and simple. When Vince McMahon came with the mindset of, thanks, Chris, for stopping by as always, dude. Oh, he has a theme song that everybody loves and cheers. Okay, we got to make him a face because it's not going to work as a heel. You couldn't just tweak it a little bit. Look what they did with the Nakamura theme song. Everybody loved to sing it. Everybody loved to sing it. And now we get him to turn heel, and they tweaked it a little bit. They could have done that as well. I don't see why not. I'm Red Sox fan. I've been commenting as many people as I can. Shut your mouth. Do you think there's too many people on the roster for them to all care for? Probably. And also, on the Dr. Hughes show, they made a good point as well. It's a lot of TV time that they're doing. So
yeah,
they dedicate a lot of TV time to certain wrestlers. And certain nights you're going to get, the same shit that we get a lot of times on Raw. That's why SmackDown Live is a little bit of a different type of show and a little bit more of a fresher show because they have short time. They have a lot of wrestlers on the roster. So they got to think of a way to put them all on the show or at least have them in the show some way of some sort. And that's why we enjoy SmackDown Live a lot more than we do Raw because it's shorter and we get a little bit fresher stuff on SmackDown Live.
Yeah, one thing else really quick is that I like what Raw did last night because I like how they did these backstage segments we used to see a lot of. I mean, the stuff with Brock was hilarious and funny. I loved it. I thought it was great. And one thing that was even funnier, I'm sure everyone noticed this on Twitter, everyone was photoshopping different images on Brock's magazine, which was so funny. And that was one of the most entertaining things about Twitter.
Yeah, I thought the best one was the one with the Sable Playboy.
Yeah,
that was great. That was fantastic. That was a good one.
The Young Bucks did one. I think it was Matt Jackson did one, where he's like reading something about the Young Bucks or something like that. It was just funny.
That's gonna be a meme forever.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. It was funny. It was entertaining, and I mean, like we said, I even talked to my brother today about this. He says maybe they have too many wrestlers and not enough TV time.
Wow, thank you, Juanito. Really do appreciate that, man. You very kind of you. What about you, Justin? What did you think about the backstage segments? It was a little bit of a fresher stuff that we don't really see much. If we do see backstage segments, they always involve Kurt Angle in some sort.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the segment, it was okay. There was nothing really special to it. The only thing that made me laugh is Mike Canales actually recorded some of it and put it on Twitter, so that was pretty funny to see it from that perspective. But
yeah, I saw him put that. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. As far as Bobby Roode, though, honestly, he needs a heel turn. And I this is my opinion, but I think he's the best in a faction. Look at Beer Money and then look at Fortune. That to me that's where he was his best. He needs some kind of heel faction like that right now.
I disagree. I think Bobby Roode at his best was when he was the TNA World Champion when he turned on James Storm. I think Bobby Roode, that's when he was
Yes, Red Sox fan. I am also on YouTube as well. Thank you for promoting us a little bit. Too focused on series. Red Sox fan, I am so glad SummerSlam is around the corner, my friend. Also, we had Jinder Mahal, Braun Strowman segment. Is there anything you guys want to touch on? Because what I want to touch on next is Apollo Crews taking on Akam from AOP in a singles match.
Yeah, we can skip it.
No, I didn't. I haven't read about that, Adam Baum. I haven't read about that. Let's touch on Apollo Crews taking on Akam. Yes, Apollo Crews gets the win. I'm very excited. I'm happy for Apollo Crews, but another guy that they dropped the ball with, another guy that they brought up to NXT way too quickly, and it sucks that I always have to mention this man's name. because it's a shame that they didn't give him a proper run in NXT, and it's a shame to what they're doing to him on Raw now, to where he's stuck with Titus O'Neil and basically really doing nothing, because all this is going to lead up to is probably AOP squashing these two guys later down in the future. And anything you want to touch on this, Dave, Justin?
I mean, he can actually really go in the ring. He is very talented for what he can do, but I mean, they're just killing his moveset. They're just, I mean, limiting what he can do, which really sucks because, like I said, he's good in the ring. His character might need a little bit of tweaking. He can't really talk on the mic, but as far as in-ring work, he's really good. So
yeah, he's just another case of a guy who was called up way too early. He should not have been called up this fast, and it's not his fault. They just wanted to add some spice and bring one of the big stars up. And it's not that he needs to tweak his character. He doesn't have a character. I mean, because he doesn't really have no personality or nothing. You can say a lot of people, but he doesn't really have anything. That's the problem with Apollo. I like his in-ring work. One thing I hate when the coach says, "Why did he do that? He didn't need to do that."
That was kind of dumb.
Coach with the word of the hour. Oh God, word of the hour is anticipation. Anticipating. It's like, God damn it, Coach. Really? Seriously, man? What am I, 3 years old? Another thing.
Welcome to Sesame Street.
Another thing, AOP losing matches, and they make who was it in the chat room? I think it was Jody and also DJA 1130. They shouldn't be losing these matches. This is AOP, a dominant tag team on NXT at one time, and now they're putting up against Titus O'Neil and Apollo, and they're also losing. They have no direction. You have them doing promos, which they were never strong at in the first place. That's why you put a manager with them. These two guys had so much potential. You could have put them with Heyman. You could have put them with Samoa Joe. You could have done so much with these two guys. But yet you have them trying to do something that they know that they're not comfortable with, and that's doing promos. Just keep them as the badasses. That they just don't talk. They just kick your ass. Any thoughts on that, Justin, Dave?
They got screwed whenever they got rid of Paul Ellering, pretty much. I mean,
yeah, I mean, Paul Ellering didn't want to travel probably either, so that's another issue.
How you doing?
I mean, it's like if they fired him, or TV quote unfired him from being the manager. It was like,
what's up, Reverend? Welcome back.
They went straight down, and you kind of feel bad because
just like
what we've talked about with Sanity. You know, Sanity shouldn't be losing TV matches. AOP they were both dominant tag teams in NXT, and now they're just losing.
But I guess I can see it in 2 points to where maybe they don't want to have AOP skyrocket that quickly and have them jump onto the main roster, be so dominant, and then win the titles. They seem like they're giving the B team, and I have to give the B team some props, and I will in a minute. It seems like they're trying to give the B team an actually proper run. And as much as I don't really care for the B team, they have been entertaining. And it's about time they've given Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel a legit chance at actually doing something on Raw.
Yeah, I agree.
These guys have been jokes the last couple of years, and they're actually being treated actually serious for once. What's up, Brandon?
Man, but they got 3 teams on Raw right now that could kill it in a main event spot as a tag team, in a tag match, a main spot in a tag pay-per-view match. You have American Alpha, even though they're not officially together, but they're both on Raw. You know, the Revival and AOP. Imagine that triple threat tag match, how good that would. Remember the stuff with Ciampa and Gargano and all them in NXT with AOP, that ladder match? I mean, geez.
Yeah, it's a shame. It seems like when they don't know what to do with someone, they just kind of just throw them on the back burner. And that's what they're doing with AOP. Now, B team. And I thought this line last night had me rolling when he said B team. What did he say?
The B stands for dream.
The B and B team stands for dream. That shit had me rolling. That was funny as hell. But it looks like the Revival might be getting titles last night against the Leader of Worlds, a.k.a. the Woken Lovers, and the Revival actually get the win. I was actually shocked to see the Revival pick up the victory. Do you see the B team losing these tag titles anytime soon, Dave?
I think everyone's favorite Revival team is going to lose to the B team.
SummerSlam?
Probably if it happens at SummerSlam, it'll probably be a triple threat, I'm guessing. But if it's just them, I still think they're going to lose, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't think they trust them enough because they come in and get them a big push, and Vince sees them as injury prone, I think.
Yeah, they've been hurt the last couple of times. And
which sucks for them.
It seems like that's what's been halting their full-time push that they could actually get, is seeming like, oh shit, maybe they can get hurt. And then we gotta drop the titles, think of something else. Look at Champagne Freddy. That's funny. Hey, what's up, Red Sox fan? How you doing? Justin, any thoughts on this? Do you see the B team losing the titles anytime soon?
I can see him either losing it at Hell in the Cell or Survivor Series. I think they'll win at SummerSlam.
Okay, fair enough. Rollins, McIntyre. Two guys that we've been enjoying watching in the ring, but it looks like WWE is starting to really shove it down our throats. I think this is the second time we've seen this in 3 weeks, this match, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but it's definitely,
I think it was last.
It's definitely been kind of oversaturated. I get it. I understand that they're trying to maybe build something around McIntyre, Rollins, and possibly Ziggler as well for SummerSlam. But I mean, how much more can we get? I mean, you would think the way they were building this up, and I said this on Twitter last night, if none of these guys were champions, the way they would be building this up is that you would think Dean Ambrose is returning and coming to save the day on Rollins to help him defeat finally McIntyre and Ziggler. But they're not going that route, obviously. What do you think they're doing with this little 3 guys here, Dave?
Pissing us all off because 2 weeks in a row you say we're getting Rollins and Drew McIntyre, and 2 weeks in a row we get a disqualification. First one turned into a tag match last week. This week just turned into nothing, and it's just annoying. And they're probably going the route of pushing Drew McIntyre again and possibly giving him the title, maybe to show that he's a top guy. But I'm getting sick and tired of thinking this is your marquee match of the night. This is the match you're promoting. Rollins and Drew McIntyre this time. Okay, they're not going to screw it over 2 weeks in a row. Well, yes, they are.
Dave,
so it's like, what?
You should know better than that. They're not going to screw up things 2 weeks in a row.
I mean, part of me's hoping they're going to give us a good match if they didn't give it to us last week. Then this week you think you're going to get a match, and then again, I mean, that was the one match I was looking forward to last night, and then they screw that up.
Yeah,
and definitely, now we can talk about, when Justin finishes, we can talk about the Hugger and Boston connection.
Hug connection, yeah.
Oh, you know.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll next. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, Dave said it last night. These matches are just leading to disappointment, and I agree. I mean, I know they're just, they're showing it to us just to tease us about it for when, I guess, the real match happens. But yeah, I mean, as a fan, especially with Rollins and McIntyre, you want to see that match happen without any interruptions. I mean, at least that's for me anyway. And for that to happen 2 weeks in a row, it's kind of just like, what the hell's going on here? I wanted to watch this match and see how good it can be. And that's at least a, disqualification.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to probably lead up to a triple threat, and then maybe that's how we get the dysfunction between Ziggler and McIntyre, and that's maybe how they break them up. Thank you, Duck's friend for life for the Super Heart, man. I really do appreciate that. Very, very nice of you to do that. Thank you, guys. Also, next week, they announced Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley and Alicia Fox taking on Ronda Rousey. Let's touch on the Boss and Hug connection. And we kind of touched on this yesterday, and where I said that WWE honestly doesn't know what the hell they want to do with Sasha Banks and Bayley. And it looked like at one point that they were saving this match for SummerSlam. No, seemingly like this not going to happen. Maybe they're saving this for Evolution. that's still a possibility. But now they're a group. They have a name to them now.
I thought they've always been that name though.
Not really.
If
They
they
never
have,
came out
I
and
don't
said.
remember it. Now, I don't know what this is going to lead to. I don't know if this is going to lead to a possible tag match tournament or whatever, how we talked about them bringing in tag titles for the women. I'm not sure. But I will give them this. The tag match last night between the Riot Squad and Bayley and Sasha was pretty good. The match itself was pretty good. I'm just not feeling what the hell they're doing with Banks and Bayley because it seems like they don't even know what they're doing. You know what this
Come
kind of
on,
reminds
Tony.
me of? Hogan and Savage, the whole feud, and not to that retrospect, but they're friends, and someone's gonna turn on them. It just seems like it's too easy to smell what's gonna happen. That either Bayley or Sasha's gonna turn if they do this tag title tournament. Bayley or Sasha are gonna turn on each other. Go ahead, Dave. What were you gonna say?
I would say, come on, you thought I didn't think the match was that good because how many times have we seen
Really?
Bayley and yeah, I didn't think it was that good because how many times have we seen this match though? Bayley and Sasha versus the Riot Squad. It's like a weekly occurrence on Raw. Every week it's Bayley and Sasha versus the Riot Squad. It seems like. I mean, I'm just sick and tired of it, honestly. I mean, it's the same match every week. I mean, it's like,
I feel like the Hogan Savages with their friends, and someone's gonna come in and they're gonna split them up. Someone's gonna, grab that sword between the line of them and separate them. Someone's gonna get that heat on them.
Who's gonna
I agree with
it's gonna trigger them. It's gonna trigger them. I don't know who. I don't know when. It could be Alexa Bliss. It could be something, but something during a match, something along the lines. One of them are gonna turn on each other. It'll probably be when they have the women tag team title tournament finals, and they lose, and then one of them goes crazy, Owen Hart, Bret Hart style.
Or this, like, let's not forget the original plan for Stardust and Goldust was supposed to be Stardust turning on Goldust.
Or they could have a
But
segment
it blew up.
at
Yeah.
say this going out there, a barbershop or something. They can have Bayley throw Sasha through the barbershop window.
Oh damn!
I don't remember they ever did that before. But
I
don't think so.
I remember they did it with someone before, and he ended up becoming a legend. So let's.
You think Marty Jannetty's a legend?
The guy that threw the guy into the glass window became a legend. So
what's his name? I forgot.
Maybe they're like getting their nails done or something, and then they just go crazy and she just saying. Just
so
who's
who's
good WWE? Just
if you're gonna do it, which diva or women's wrestler is gonna have the beauty shop to set this up? Because it got to be a beauty shop.
Dana Brooke, most likely, sure.
Or they could. You think this will happen? No, exactly. WWE is not too. They don't think outside the box like that. They're not gonna have that happen. I mean, that would
be outside the box though. It would be just copying what happened. Like they all.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're doing. I mean, the Evolution looks like it's going to be probably, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this. Justin, any thoughts on this as well? Dave said he didn't enjoy the match. What about you?
I myself enjoyed it, but I mean, that's because Sasha was in it. I'm a real big fan of hers, and it actually was a good match. And I don't know, this might just be me looking too much into it, but if you watch the match and look at Sasha when she looks at Bayley, she kind of gives those heelish faces like, oh, I'm going to kick your ass sooner or later. She kind of throws out that kind of vibe.
So, I look at it differently. The vibe she's throwing is like, I want to, that's the vibe I'm getting.
Well, there's that too, but some of her faces, like, she's like gives her like me, like she like mean mugs her, like she wants to kick her ass, but then you could be like,
did you guys see the video they put out on WWE.com of their interview? I mean, they're all like all over each other, and it's like they're really kind of hinting at this a lot.
Oh, I'm reading the chat room, guys. I'm reading them. I'm just not responding to everything yet. I'm reading the chat room. Trust me. You may not think I am, but I am. I just don't want to interrupt these guys talking. That's kind of rude. Don't you think, Red Sox fan? Don't you think? Yeah, that's pretty much all of what happened on Raw. I mean, we touched on the ending with the Brock Lesnar I liked how they kind of teased to where he wasn't even going to be on the show, and then he finally ends up being. And then the Paul Heyman aspect throws you in for a loop because you don't know what's going to happen 100%. Sure, you could say Roman Reigns is going to win. Yeah, but you don't know that. It could be a swerve. We could see something happen. Oh, I did forget about Roman clocking Baron. And it looks like they will probably wrestle each other very soon. What did you think about the Roman Reigns getting arrested segment, Dave?
I hope Roman stayed because they said, if you don't leave, you're going to lose your title shot. I was really praying that Roman would stay. I really was. Because they act well. You know what I hate about this? You said this before, Tony. Not to go on too long, but, I mean, we've said that the only thing they're doing this Brock stuff is, and it worked tonight. We'll get to it, I'm sure. Or last night, it worked because the crowd was chanting for Roman. You said this plenty of times, Tony. That they're only doing this to make Brock hated and say he doesn't care about the fans. He hates all the fans, just so you'll boo him and cheer Roman Reigns. And that's all they're doing this for.
And it worked. You know what else? You know what else it did? And Justin tweeted me this. I mean, actually text messaged me this.
Yes, sir.
You know what show was number one on cable last night, Dave?
Raw? I'm
Raw.
guessing.
Raw was the number one show last night on TV.
Well, I didn't think I'm pretty sure it was going to be Raw. You weren't going to tell me The Bachelorette was number one last night.
I mean, I don't know how often Raw wins number one on cable.
It hasn't been number one since like late 2017.
Yeah, it got almost. Yeah, I think it got almost close, maybe just 100,000 shy of like 1 million or 1,000 shy of 3 million.
So
hey, yeah, I mean, Brock Lesnar.
We hate Brock. We want him not as champion. Yada yada yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's fucking working, man. It's
like draw.
Vince McMahon is just laughing at y'all our tweets of us bitching and moaning about Brock never being on Raw and never being on the show, and he's seeing these ratings. Oh, we're number one on cable. Oh, that's what happens when Brock hasn't been on your show in 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, we've all talked and argued about this, that Brock being there is, I've been kind of the other side where I think it's good. You guys hate it because you want your champion on Raw, and I get that. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, even Red Sox fan have said it too, but it's kind of Brock draws. But do you give it all to Brock, or do you think you can give some of it to Ronda? You don't think Ronda being advertised there too?
Ronda doing the same old shit she's been doing? No. Now, next week, if they're number one again, that's all Ronda. Because her being on the show and having a match, that's 100% all Ronda, I would think. But
yeah, but you can't argue the formula. You can't.
Brock is Sami Callihan, stop. You're not the draw, brother. You're not the draw, brother. It's Brock Lesnar, and he proves it out over and over and over and over again. I mean,
Taz was a special appearance.
Last night fucking shut me up for at least, I mean, for now, because to me, I'm seeing this is hurting their product. I mean, it's obviously not, because they're doing great in stock and all this shit, and it's like their most successful year ever. And I'll tweet it to him. I will tweet him that he is not the draw and is Brock Lesnar. I would love to see if he responds.
You know what?
You know who will respond to me? Okay. My buddy EC3. My buddy EC3 responds to me.
Brian Cage.
Brian Cage as well. Brian Cage.
You know what? You know what's interesting though? People say they hate Brock and they want him to leave. I mean, but if he does and never comes back and he just goes straight to UFC 100%, they're not going to have nobody in their back pocket they can bring in to draw almost 3 million viewers. I mean, Brock's the guy. I mean, even though people hate him as champion right now, it's working. Because when you need him to come in and draw big ratings, he didn't do nothing but sit in his... And it was some of the best stuff they've ever done with Brock since he's been there, in my opinion. Since he's been back, this is the best stuff they ever did with him.
It's the most they've ever done with Brock. Ever. Usually he's on a segment and he's fucking gone. He was on the show throughout the whole show. And I think that's why the ratings were so good. That's why they were number one on the show, because they had him on every hour of the show. Now, he didn't come on the opening show, wreak havoc, and then leave. Because that's what it usually happens. But they did a different way, and it actually worked. It kept you around because you wanted to see if Brock was going to show up or not. You wanted to see if it was going to be a cash-in or not.
Yeah, I mean, because you wanted to see, like, I want to see more of this stuff, not just with Brock, but more back in the day. We used to see those locker room segments with Vince, Steffi, and all them, where they'd all be backstage in their office or whatever, and that was interesting and sometimes compelling stuff. I mean, we were talking last night on Twitter about the funny stuff Brock and Angle used to do back in the day. That stuff was
Oh
entertaining
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm just now the most curious thing is to see what they do at SummerSlam. Now, if Brock wins, I'll be speechless. Like seriously, I fully expect him to lose the title to either Braun or Reigns. If he wins, I'd be shocked. So let's wrap up Raw and let's move on to SmackDown Live because I'm sure we got some top stuff to talk about there. Dave, your overall ratings for Raw last night, and everybody in the chat room as well. Is it possible Brock just doesn't want to put Roman over? I mean, it's always a possibility with Brock Lesnar. Did they chant "We want Roman" or "We want Strowman"? It sounded like
No,
Roman. It
it
sounded
was
like
Roman.
Yeah, it was Roman. Yeah.
Because
So
you even heard a faint part of the crowd chanting, "No, we don't." You can
no,
hear
that's
that
right.
too.
Yeah, that's true. What did you give Raw last night?
Other than the Roman, yeah, right. Other than the Brock stuff, I thought Raw sucked. I mean, the Brock stuff backstage is entertaining. I'll give it a 1 just because of the Brock stuff backstage and the ending. I mean, that was the best part of the whole show.
A 1? God damn. God damn. 1.5, 5, 3.4,
A 5?
3.75, 2. Yeah,
Damn.
Who's giving it a 5?
that chant made Vince McMahon's year right there. I mean,
Who gave it
his year.
5?
A 0.5 says Jeffrey Cross. Is fuck Raw ratings? God damn.
God damn. Jesus Christ. Jeez.
Wow. Savages tonight. Brock saved the show. And I actually, wow, okay, Justin?
I'm gonna give it a 3. I mean, the Brock stuff was good. It was refreshing, not just to
The
get the same old
X-Bombers.
stuff like we do every week.
Wow. I actually thought Raw wasn't too bad. I'll give it a 3 as well. I thought the women's tag match was good. 1 star says Champagne Freddy.
No
I thought,
Ember Moon though, that was kind of strange.
yeah, I thought backstage stuff was good. I thought the women's match was good. I as much as I don't really care for Balor and Corbin, I still thought the match was good. Rousey stuff was pretty good. Yeah. Call me a mark if you'd like, but I thought Raw was all right last night. It was pretty enjoyable.
Okay, you know what? I'll change my rating. I'll get a half a pancake.
Half a pancake? There you go. Hey, move New Day to Raw, and how much more entertaining would Raw be if the New Day did commentary? With the pancakes, with everything. My God, Raw would be must-see
I mean,
man.
We're not there yet, but that was such a shot at Dave Meltzer. We get a 5 pancakes. I mean, that was just so.
That was funny. All right, so let's move to SmackDown Live. Wow, man. Raw has been rough lately. I will admit it. Raw, I think everybody in the chat room could admit that Raw, for the most part, 3 hours is a bit much to watch. And sometimes probably a lot of people are channel surfing or watching something else on their phone and not really paying attention to Raw. It's been a bit rough lately, I can admit.
Really quick, before we move, I want to ask you guys both this. Are they purposely building SmackDown up as the better show just for next year? Making it better and better just to build up for next year? Or they just don't know what the fuck they're doing?
I don't know. I would hope not. I mean, it's a valid point that you could say, but I just think they feel like they can make it a slow build on Raw. They feel like they can take as much time as they want because it's a 3-hour show. But when you put it that way, that's exactly what it seems like. It seems like they want you to step away from Raw and to gather up and to start watching more SmackDown Live because sooner or later it's going to be maybe the number 1 show. Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't see how SmackDown. I will touch more of it on Saturday night, but I don't see. Even though it'll be live on Friday on a on a non-cable network, I don't still see how SmackDown Live is still the #1 show.
I think it would be.
I don't know.
I
To
think,
me, I don't know. It seems Raw seems to me has always been Raw, the main show.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I was just
understand
gonna
that.
say.
But look at this. Raw is going to be still getting cable ratings. SmackDown's going to be getting broadcast TV ratings in prime time.
Yes, BX Bomber
I
sure will.
mean, that's the big. They can draw like big numbers. Like that Saturday Night's Main Event with Andre and Hogan is still the #1 show on broadcast TV. Now they're going to get this weekly.
It's going to be interesting to see how they pull it off when it does happen, and we'll touch more on that when it gets a little bit of closer to that deal. Yeah, we'll touch on Matt Riddle. Definitely more on Saturday night. Yes, old news, Red Sox fan, but yes, Matt Riddle has reported signed a multi-year deal with the WWE. So look for him to probably show up at, I would expect, NXT Brooklyn. I would expect to see him in the crowd, NXT Brooklyn, because everybody knows this summer, WrestleMania Takeover, they're gonna throw everything in the kitchen sink on that Saturday night show when they go up against ROH and New Japan Pro Wrestling. You better believe it. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do then when that time comes. I haven't seen the Bliss comments about Hogan. Nope. I am surprised Hogan hasn't showed up yet. Yeah.
She just agreed that it was okay that he came back. I mean, it was nothing bad.
Oh, well, I mean, a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, she just said that everybody's a family and they liked it, but whatever.
You know what? Whatever people's view on this is fine, but everyone has their own opinion. I mean,
yes. Now let's touch on SmackDown Live, because I thought SmackDown Live was a really good show tonight. It opened up with Becky Lynch. Carmella ended up coming out there and interrupting, throwing out a pretty solid promo, kind of saying, how she's getting back, how she's getting a lot of haters on Twitter and on the internet saying that she doesn't deserve to be the champion, that she sucks, that she's unworthy, and people say she should just go away. And, kind of playing up the sad part. And you knew she was playing Becky Lynch like a fiddle, which then led to James Ellsworth music coming on, distracting Becky Lynch for some odd fucking reason, even though he was fired last week. And that's when she takes Carmella gets the upper hand on Becky Lynch, attacks her from behind with the belt, and then we get the return of Charlotte. So back-to-back weeks we get returns, one from Randy Orton last week. This week we get Charlotte, and immediately when I saw this happen, I tweeted it out. Please don't make this match a triple threat. And what the fuck happens right after that segment? Paige shows up. Oh, well, if you beat Carmella, if Charlotte beats you, Carmella, Charlotte will be inserted into the match at SummerSlam, making it a triple threat match. And that, to me, thinks two things: that they feel like this match isn't big enough already with Becky Lynch and Carmella, and they have no faith in them two. Or like Dave said, they were in a hurry and maybe rush a Rousey and Charlotte match at the split pay-per-view between SmackDown and Raw. Your thoughts, Justin, of the opening segment and the stipulation that was added into the Carmella and Charlotte match?
Yeah, well, I mean, this was Carmella's best promo. I mean, she played it up really good. Looked like she was actually crying. She was just saying what everybody thinks about her, and she just did really good. I mean, like I said, that was her best promo. As far as the triple threat, I mean, I think it sucks. I definitely don't want to see it. And I don't know why they're going with this, but like you said, it's probably not a big enough match without Charlotte in there. So,
if anybody doesn't mind putting our Twitter feed into the chat room for BX Bomber 27, I would really appreciate it. Please go follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. It's at Get the Tables. If someone doesn't mind putting that in the chat room, I'd really appreciate that. There it is, right there. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate that. Now, Dave, your thoughts. I know you put it on Twitter that you think they're going to have this match with Rousey and Charlotte. Your thoughts of the opening segment of SmackDown Live?
I thought it was, like, I looked all over Twitter. Everyone's like, oh, this is such a great promo by Carmella. Oh, her best promo ever. And I was like, well, yeah, it's good because, to me, Becky Lynch is more of a promo than Carmella's. Carmella's, all it was is her just saying what everyone else has been saying to her about on Twitter and what they said in the crowd. I mean, it's just her, because when you take something real and put it, because she probably really meant a lot of that, and it probably does bother her to extent, I assume, about how people react to her, and that was probably a real moment right there. Then just the whole swerve thing.
Bob Ruski said Mela just read her tweets. Yeah,
basically, I mean that's basically what it was, and she just took that. Or go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say, what is everybody's thoughts in the chat room about Charlotte being inserted into the match as well? Because she did end up winning the match, and Red Sox fan makes a good point. She's got to be one of the most pushed superstars other than Roman Reigns. Is Charlotte?
What color is her hair?
Blonde.
I understand she's a blonde, but still, her last name is Flair. So I mean, for God's sakes, I get it. She was gone for 2 months, however long I don't even think it was that long. And then you're gonna want to. To me, it shows like they have no confidence in Becky Lynch. Imagine how this makes Becky Lynch feel.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
Imagine she even mentioned it tonight. I haven't had a title shot in a fucking year and a half. How sad and pathetic is that? And I'm sure I know she had some injuries and stuff like that, but my God, to not have a single title match for a year and a half and being her status of who she is. This isn't Lana we're talking about. This is Becky Lynch, a girl who can go in the ring, who can, have a good promo, and they're doing this to her, inserting Charlotte into the match.
And she was their number one draft pick. She was the first ever women's champion for SmackDown.
Yeah, to me, that's a slap in the face to Becky Lynch, to me. And I know it's all storyline to me, probably. To me, this feels like Becky Lynch is going to end up turning heel on Charlotte for jealousy reasons or whatever have you.
It's a best up. Seriously.
Yeah, Lana had 3 title shots in a row, and Becky Lynch hadn't had 0 in a year and a half.
Nah, that's pretty damn bad.
That's horrible. And yes, we all know she had issues with injuries, and she took some time off to film a movie and stuff like that. Yeah, we get it. We got you. But to not even have one match is a bit extreme. It's a bit extreme.
It is. And to go on about the whole Ronda and Charlotte thing, I think, because everyone keeps saying, oh, that's WrestleMania. How are you going to do that if they're both on separate brands for WrestleMania? And yes, you can't put everything at WrestleMania. And I guarantee you Brock isn't wrestling at Survivor Series.
Nah.
You could have... Go ahead.
If that match was to happen at Survivor Series, I want a yes or no question from both of you.
Is that
the main event of Survivor Series?
That's what I think it would be.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
That would be your main event,
Heckenrod. Heckenrod is saying, well, they did say but I don't see how that would happen on Evolution because they said Raw, SmackDown, and NXT titles are on the line. If they wanted to do a special attraction match, they could do it that way. But Survivor Series is where it's Raw and SmackDown women against each other, so they could go that route. I don't know how it could be the main event, though, especially when it's not a title match. Because the Raw versus SmackDown match seems more bigger to me.
You could do that in the middle of the show.
You can have your stars in that Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah, but you could do it differently like that because that would be the way they can say, oh, look, with Ronda, we're putting the women in the main event of one of our biggest pay-per-views of the year, Ronda versus Charlotte, a dream match, type like they like to throw out there. A once-in-a-lifetime match. This may never happen again.
That's a good point.
What about you, Justin?
I don't see it. I don't know. We said that before. We don't see it non-title match being the main event, but look what's happened in the past. AJ Styles should be main eventing pay-per-views, and he's like the second or third match. So I can see it happening, but it shouldn't.
No, just a shame that Becky Lynch came all this way back to finally get a title shot. It seems like it's going to be her one-on-one, a seemingly good shot to possibly win the title from Carmella. And,
I can honestly see Becky Lynch turning heel during this also.
Oh yeah, she's gonna turn heel. This is Becky turning heel, I think, on Charlotte, and I think this is a way to either get Charlotte to win and win the title, or this is a way to keep Carmella champ. And it's going to be a shame because I'm pretty sure Becky Lynch is going to take the pinfall. It's going to be sad.
Yeah, I think Charlotte's going to win the title, which sucks. Heck, I tweeted this at the beginning of the show. Becky deserves to be women's champion. She really does. Out of anybody else, she does.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially on SmackDown Live, that's for sure.
Anywhere.
Next, we had the next match of the tournament to see who goes on to face the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam. We had the Usos taking on the Bar. The Bar get the win. We had the New Day at commentary. I thought that was a nice little touch. It was a great touch. Had to add the New Day at the commentary booth. Actually, they had their own little commentary table. I thought the tag match was really good. And I had no idea that the Bar hadn't been on TV in 2 months. That's crazy. In a wrestling match, that is. Justin, your thoughts of the Usos and the Bar match where we saw the Bar get the win?
Yeah, that match was really good. I enjoyed it. And then, of course, you had New Day on commentary, so that just added to the greatness of the match. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I thought the match was good. Look, I get you. New Day is entertaining, but I do think they kind of took a little bit away from the match. But I still thought the match was really good. And Sheamus and Cesaro, we talked about this before, the Bar are the perfect team to face the Bludgeon Brothers. Please don't make it the New Day. Please. The Bar is just sacked up perfectly for a SummerSlam title match. And I can see even them winning the titles because it would make perfect sense. But, yeah, I thought it was good. I loved the pancake rating. It was funny. So, yeah.
I think the Bar and the Bludgeon Brothers would be a sneaky match of the night pick at SummerSlam, because these are two tag teams that are going to be hitting hard. And when you have Cesaro in a tag team match, you're going to see some good stuff. And what he did tonight, yeah, if it happens, I really do think it's going to be Sheamus and Cesaro. I mean, we've seen the New Day already. It would be a fresh tag match. And a match that a lot of people may think the Bar could pull off and win. But, we'll see if it actually happens. It would be hard to see WWE keep the New Day off SummerSlam. But we shall see.
I mean, they don't have to. They could easily have another match with Sanity. I mean, we probably don't want to see it, but they easily could do that. And the Bar is legitimately the only team who matches up well with the Bludgeon Brothers. That's it. I mean, New Day's funny, haha. But, man, the Bar just matches up so well. And it would be fun.
Yeah. Next, we'll get to the Samoa Joe segment. But I just wanted to say this is Get the Tables podcast. We are live every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But a special announcement, everybody. Since we have a lot of our usual viewers in here and a couple of new people in as well, starting the weekend after SummerSlam, everybody, Shooting the Shit will be moving from Saturday nights to Sunday nights. We will be moving to Sunday nights starting the weekend after SummerSlam. We will be going at 9 Eastern. This time we went on Sunday. This past weekend, it seemed like it worked for a lot of people. I know a lot of people do stuff on Saturday nights. And we might even get Justin a little bit more on the show as well, being live on Sundays. So Sunday nights, 9 Eastern, starting the weekend after SummerSlam. We will be going live, shooting the shit with you on Sundays. Let's go next to the Samoa Joe promo. And I put on Twitter that when he leaves the ring with those, he leaves the microphone on fire. And tonight was another fire promo. Joe says Styles feels more comfortable on the road living out of a suitcase more than staying at home being a husband, and he understands that. Styles put being champion above being a father and a failure at that. On SummerSlam, when the whole world's cheering for Styles, his family will be cheering for Joe, because after he tears down Styles' house, AJ's family will have their daddy back, but Samoa Joe will be WWE champion. Whew. What a fucking promo by Samoa Joe. Any thoughts on the promo from tonight, Justin?
Well, my satellite decided to be a bitch when it
Oh,
was
that's
raining,
right.
so
I'm
I
sorry
couldn't
about
watch
that.
it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. We had a nice little thunderstorm here in Texas, and Justin's satellite went off during this promo. That sucks. I forgot about that. He told me before the show. He sweated while talking. Hey, I understand, man. He had a lot of and he was very intense during that promo. Dave, what about you?
Yeah, I thought it was really good, and I like how they let Joe go a little bit personal because if a lot of people don't know their history, they have a big history from TNA wrestling, and so of course they know each other so well. So it fits in how Joe came out and said he respected him and all that, and then he threw the whole personal issues in, which is fun. I mean, it's entertaining. I mean, when you everyone knows they have a long storied history, so it makes sense that he would talk about. I'm sure AJ is going to come out and do his thing, which I'm surprised they didn't have him come out tonight. But I like the slow build because you still got 3 weeks till SummerSlam, so why not do it week by week, and then the third week have them come face to face.
I don't know when the last time Brock's had a match on Raw. It's probably been years,
His
years,
debut.
years since he's had a match on Raw. How is Joe not champion yet? DX, your guess is as good as mine. How Joe has not had the title at all.
Well, because he was on Raw.
Well, I mean, no, he's never. He hasn't been world champion.
I know because he's on Raw, or because he was on Raw. That's why.
Oh, correct. But I'm saying still. I mean, even on SmackDown Live, it doesn't even look that confident that he'd be champion anytime soon. You know?
I do.
I think it's Styles for the title for a while.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but you look at it the other way, though. If you're on the show with Roman Reigns, you're not going to be champion. I'm sorry, or unless you're a member of the Shield. No guy's going to get a big shot like that. I mean, look at Bobby Lashley. He couldn't even get a title shot. I mean, and SmackDown seems to always give the guys that the fans want the shots compared to what Raw does. They give the guys Vince wants, and then SmackDown gives us the guys we want.
Does AJ break CM Punk's reign? It's a possibility. I wouldn't be shocked, but still, he's that type of guy who the title won't affect. He'll have the same talk with or without. Yeah, Samoa Joe is a guy that doesn't need the title necessarily. He's a guy that we would want him with the title. It's that kind of a deal. He doesn't need a title to be a badass.
I think it's more
to be legit. He just wants a title. We just want to see the gold on Samoa Joe.
I think it's more the hardcore wrestling fans wanting to see Joe as WE champion, and I think that's what it is. I mean, who thought AJ would ever be WE champion? Probably nobody.
So the next segment, we got Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy comes down to the ring. He said when he lost the title, he lost a piece of him, was severed away, and it's important for him to beat Shinsuke Nakamura. But one thing that's more important is to beat up Randy Orton. Which then led to Randy Orton coming down to the ring, and that's when Nakamura attacks him from behind. And I'm not sure what the fuck this was all about. We had Nakamura and Randy Orton kind of face to face. Nakamura ends up leaving. That's when Randy Orton starts beating up Hardy up some more, takes him outside, puts him onto the ring on the commentator desk, pours water on him. Was he washing his demons away? I'm not even sure what the hell that was about.
Washing the paint face.
But Randy Orton was definitely back to his evil ways, and how good a heel Randy Orton is. You can't even imagine how he could be a face. But Justin, your thoughts on the Jeff Hardy, Nakamura, and Randy Orton segment?
My satellite was still out at this point.
Oh, okay? All right, fair enough. Dave?
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting. Nakamura did hit his finish on him and then left, and they're kind of teasing. Like, I think it has to be a triple threat. Now you think about it for the U.S. title, but who knows what they're going to do? I mean, but I think the whole him ripping everything off was him because I don't know, the whole ripping away everything that he's known for, kind of with the creatures and all that, and wiping his face paint off.
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it seems more something like that. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it was what it was. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here because they haven't really mentioned Nakamura really facing anyone else. So it seems like it would almost have to be a triple threat for the U.S. title.
I thought he was gonna punt Hardy. I thought he was, and I even put on Twitter, punt him to Royal Rumble. Like I said, Jeff Hardy needs some time off. Give this guy 3 to 4 months off. Have him be a surprise entrance in the Royal Rumble, and he'll be 125% by a Royal Rumble. I guarantee you. If
You
he's
hope.
not wrestling and doing all these crazy shit, he would be ready to go by Royal Rumble. Have him just take some time off, man. He's had a rough 2018 in the ring and outside of it. It's how this guy regenerate, come back 100%. Should have had Randy Orton punt him, and then come back, later down the line. Punt him like
You
he
know what I
punt.
liked about this
Go ahead.
Randy Orton? That it's not the same heel Orton we've seen in the past. It's a different layer of a heel Randy Orton, which I like it. It's not the same old legend killer or the other one we had last time. It's not. It's different. It's a different. He's being kind of. I don't want to say he's being more vicious, but it's like he's being more vicious. And even at times, the legend killer Randy Orton, when he was at Legacy and all that, he was kind of a chicken shit heel version. This doesn't really seem like that.
Think Taker will come back and get set up with a match at SummerSlam or make some appearance. Well, the rumors it's going to be him and Cena at SummerSlam, but I don't see how. It's 3 weeks away. I don't think Undertaker will be at SummerSlam. I'd be shocked. Next, we had the Lana and Zelina Vega segment, which then led to Aiden English coming down to try to help to help Lana because Almas was kind of getting involved. And kind of what happened a couple of weeks ago, Aiden English gets involved, gets Lana distracted. Vega gets the win. I thought the match was solid. It wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the baddest. It was just in between. It looks like we're going to probably maybe get an intergender match like I talked about on Sunday night between these 4 people. And it looks like more and more that Aiden English is going to be broken up from Rusev Day. Your thoughts, Justin?
Well, right when this match ended, my satellite kicked back on. Right when it came on, Aiden was out there, and he already cost Lana the match. So, I mean, I really can't say too much about it. I just saw right when Lana lost.
Yoko Lana, yeah, that's what Dave has been calling her. What about you, Dave?
Hey, it was awesome to finally see Vega finally wrestle in actually on TV because she has had house show matches. They didn't talk about it, but yeah, she had house show matches when they took on Gargano and his wife. So and plus a lot of us might know her from TNA where she wrestled there a lot, even other places. But the match was what it was. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't a bad match either, but it's kind of hard to have a 5-star match with somebody who's not really a 5-star wrestler either. So,
yeah, what's up, Dr. Hughes? Thanks for popping in, dude.
Lana isn't the greatest in-ring worker either, but I thought the match was okay, and it was great to see. I hated that she was using Andrade's moves, though. I wish she would have just stuck with her own stuff, because she has some cool moves she's used before.
Hughes.
They kind of made her like she's just copying Almas's finish, all his moves and stuff.
Oh, thank you for the super hearts, Dr. Huge. Really do appreciate that. And always go follow Dr. Huge. He's live before SmackDown Live, and he's live before Impact as well. And I like to say when I come on here, he's the pre-show, and we're the post-show. He had a great show tonight. So I really enjoyed his show tonight. So thanks for popping in here and showing the love. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, for being, Lana hasn't had much in-ring experience, and, Vega has. I thought the match was as good as it could get. And it's continuing the storyline, and we'll see what happens. Probably going to get a new intergender match probably at SummerSlam. Maybe not. Maybe we get Rusev versus Aiden English, which would be weird at a SummerSlam. But who knows? We'll see what happens after that. But let's get to what was the heat, the fire, probably the segment of the night, which was the Daniel Bryan and The Miz segment. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, was this good. This was a really good segment. Bryan pretty much calls out The Miz. Miz appears on the screen, says, "This isn't high school where Bryan calls Miz out for a fight. He's a talent and is on the set of Miz and Mrs." Bryan says he doesn't care about Miz's show. He came out to fight and proves Miz is a coward. Miz says last time Brian called him a coward, they were on the set of Talking Smack, and Miz got in his face, and Brian walked off. He's been carrying Brian for 10 years since he was Brian's pro on NXT. Brian says for him, it's about passion. For Miz, it's about fame, and his dream of turning into a Hollywood star has already been done by people better than him. Brian says Miz will never be The Rock or John Cena, and no one will ever remember him as a great superstar because he is too soft. But if Miz needs a big stage, then challenge him to a fight one-on-one at SummerSlam. Miz says this is a repetitive cycle. He's done with Brian. The yes movement is over and tells Brian to move on because when people look at him, all they see is a crybaby. And that's when they played a bunch of the crybabies on the screen. And even mentioned about Brian not re-signing with the WWE. So that's the first time they've mentioned his contract on the TV show, on the main show. So I'm not sure if this means anything, but it's definitely interesting to see how they did mention his contract being up on the show. What were your thoughts on this, Justin?
Well, it's interesting to say that Miz was Brian's coach on NXT all those years ago. You figured it would be the other way around. That's just crazy to think how long the Miz has actually been there. But yeah, I mean, the segment was very good. The promos by both of them were excellent, as always. I just want to see this match already. I mean, they're going to tear each other apart. They're going to tear the house down. I can't wait to watch it already.
Yeah, Bob Ruski make a good point. There probably is some type of terms done that I don't think they would have mentioned it on TV if Brian wasn't resigning. Kind of like the Punk situation. I don't think they would mention it if Brian was leaving. That's a good point by you, Bob Ruski. What about you, Dave? Your thoughts?
I completely agree with what you said. I was thinking that they wouldn't say just let your contract run out and go somewhere and wrestle in front of 200 people. I'm sorry, but if he left, he would probably go to New Japan and end up wrestling Wrestle Kingdom next year. And last time I checked, there's more than 200 people at that show. So I hate that they always got to go there with the indie guys. Like, oh, go wrestle in front of 200 people in a high school. That's not what the indie scene is at right now. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah. But, yeah, I thought, like Justin said, this promo, all of us have been waiting for this match probably for almost 2 years now. I remember that Talking Stack segment was exactly, but, I mean, man. I mean, I can't wait for this. It was good. They both got really heated with each other. And you said the bar stealing the show. I think this is the match I could probably steal the show.
Sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky steal. But this is the match I think everyone wants to see, though. I mean, they have for... I mean, Miz and Brian, they've not just because of this, but even before this. I mean, after the NXT stuff, I mean, they feuded a lot after that. I mean, Miz has never really beat Brian in the ring before. I don't think. Maybe in a Raw.
These guys have had some sort of beef, wrestling wise, for the last 10 years since the old NXT stuff. And it is pretty crazy. Like Justin said, it's crazy. The Miz has been in the WWE for over 10 years. I
think longer than that.
That's crazy. That's
like 05 or 06.
I don't think anybody thought when the Miz came on to wrestle and was in, made it to the WWE and did all that, and he made it a long way. Talk about working his ass off. Say what you want about the Miz, he's came a long way.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, look at what the Miz he started out when he was some kind of hype man for like the Diva search, and I think one of the most famous things everyone remembers, he couldn't remember to say WWF.com or whatever it was.
And he couldn't remember the phone number either.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, he's came a long way. He really has.
John Cena at WrestleMania, thinking, "Wow, this." I was cheering for the Miz, but I'm thinking in the back of my mind, this is the main event of WrestleMania, the Miz versus John Cena. At that time, the Miz was nowhere near ready like he is now to main event of WrestleMania. He's came a long way, and if guys like Dave, who absolutely hated the Miz, is now a fan of him, you can tell that he's really came a long way.
Well, you know, you guys always
Mark on the railroad. Yep.
You guys always mention that about Randy Orton is the most underrated and underappreciated by a lot of fans. I think Miz is up there too, being one of the most underrated.
I don't know, because with the Miz and Randy Orton,
Kevin,
I hear a lot of people say, I'm tired of Randy Orton. I'm tired of seeing Randy Orton in the spotlight. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. But when it comes to Miz, you don't see a lot of negative towards the Miz. More a lot of
maybe not
positive
like this
towards
second, but over the years, look at his longevity. Look how many injuries he's had since he's been in the WWE. I don't think he's ever been injured at all.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
been there, and he's
Yeah, I
always
don't think
been
so.
there, no matter what. Yeah, I mean, so you look at that, and I don't think he's appreciated as much by a lot of people on what his work ethic actually is. Yes, we see the TV, oh, you're a coward, you don't want to come face me and all that. But all that is, The Miz is there. The Miz has never been hurt. He's there every week when he's not making a movie. But yeah, I mean, he's there all the time. I don't think people appreciate what he does and what he puts in. And I mean,
Yeah, he's
look,
almost
I'm
on
not,
par with Cena as far as the appearances go as well.
yeah, I mean, and I'm not gonna, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna be rooting for the Miz at SummerSlam, but I'm just trying to say, hey, he's done a lot, and look what he's doing now. He got his own show now, so I mean, heck, he's doing a great thing.
It's sad that his only WWE title run sucked, but if he is champion now, he would be. I mean, him as world champion would be great. Would be some great television. Him as SmackDown Live World Champion. Him and Joe. I hope. I guess more Joe more than the Miz, but I really hope those two guys get a title run in the next couple of years, at least on SmackDown Live.
Do you think how much better this feud would be if it was for the WE title, Miz and Bryan?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
That would get on the pay-per-view main events.
So all right, so let's go to the main event of SmackDown Live. Since we're getting almost to an hour and a half being live now. Again, thank you everybody for joining us, and then thank you everyone for the generous super hearts tonight, and everybody joining us tonight on a late Tuesday evening. Thank you for the regular hearts pumping in here, and thank you guys for sharing the broadcast as well. Very much appreciated, and can't thank you guys enough. I know I say it a lot on the show, but hey, I just want to make sure that I'm every time you come into the show. So, Carmella, Charlotte Flair, main event. We had the stipulation added: if Charlotte Flair did win, she would be inserted into the triple threat match at SummerSlam. They kind of played the part to where Becky Lynch was kind of in between on the whole situation, where she kind of felt like this was her time, and you could tell that she wasn't happy that Charlotte was getting this opportunity. But the match I thought wasn't bad. I mean, Carmella back-to-back weeks went out there and held her own against Becky Lynch and against Charlotte. Charlotte picks up the win. She's now inserted into the triple threat match. Justin, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I don't want to sit here and say I knew for sure Charlotte, but I mean, it was in the back of my mind that, yeah, Charlotte could win this match and be inserted. And I think everybody here tweeted, oh, God, Charlotte's going to be in this match and she's going to win and we're going to have a triple threat. And, of course, that's what happened. The match was pretty good. Charlotte held her own as well as Carmella. But, this really sucks for Becky Lynch because this is her moment. This is her match to be had, and now you're having Charlotte inserted to it, and it just screws it up for Becky Lynch. The only thing I see from her out of this is a heel turn for Becky Lynch.
Yeah, all right. Press one in the chat room, everybody, or whatever. So yes or no. Were you guys hoping this match would end up being a triple threat match? I just want to see how everybody else feels in there because I did not want this to be a triple threat match.
Oh, hell no.
It stacks the odds to me crazy against Becky Lynch because to me, coming into the match, you actually thought Becky Lynch stood a chance. She might actually win the title. Now, with Charlotte inserted into it, you would have to think that it's either going to be Carmella retaining or Charlotte winning. Dave, your thoughts?
Man, I'm really disappointed in this because a lot of us were excited last week that finally Becky Lynch is going to get her opportunity, much like Natalya did last year at SummerSlam when she finally got her one-on-one title shot on a pay-per-view, and she won. And now we get, just because Charlotte shows up and makes a save, she automatically gets a title shot? I mean, or not a title shot, but a chance for a title shot. My bad. Which all of us knew that was coming, because how many times they say if you win, you get a title shot, and you get added to the match, and it doesn't happen. I mean, it usually happens when they put that stipulation out there. And I wonder, are we gonna see someone new next week? Is it gonna be a 4-way then, a 5-way? I mean, are they gonna keep doing this? If you beat Carmella, you get added in. I mean, are they gonna keep doing it and just add more people?
Yeah,
I mean,
Charlotte.
geez,
Exactly. Dr. Huge. Love Charlotte, hate the 3-way. Because what is the whole what is it why does she need to be involved in this match other than WWE feels like it's not a big enough match? To me, like I said, it seems like a slap in the face to Becky Lynch and to Carmella, if you want to say as well.
Definitely.
I feel like that they need a bigger star in the match. I think who else? Someone else put it in the chat, like Dave was talking about, maybe DX. Now, what are they going to throw Asuka into the mix, make it an even bigger match? But I just didn't understand the reasoning behind putting Charlotte into the match because it wasn't needed. She was doing it was fine where it was at. Carmella has been improving. You may not get the heel reaction that a big time heel champion should get, but she's getting the reaction of all the fans that, yeah, we don't like her, yeah, we don't want her as champ, but hey, that's what we're supposed to be feeling like for.
Hey, but honestly, tonight was the most reaction she's ever got.
Right.
I mean, it really was.
And maybe she's maybe she's starting to gain some steam, and she's done very well the last couple of weeks. When they put her into,
I was laughing so hard when she was crying. I kept saying, "You suck."
Yeah, and when they put her into the spotlight and they actually give her a chance, and yes, the promo's written for her, but the way she delivers it comes out pretty good. Now, her in-ring work could use some work, yeah, and she even mentioned it last tonight. They even told her she was never going to be a wrestler. She was going to be a manager. So it kind of shows you that she has come a long way from becoming that NXT manager, managing Enzo and Cass, to being the goddamn SmackDown Live World Champion. So as much as maybe we all don't like her and maybe don't want her as champ, you got to give her props because she has done very well the last couple of weeks. And we've been very hard on her on this show, and you guys know it. We give her slack a lot on this show. But, hey, when she does well, you got to give her a pat on the back. Any thoughts on that, Dave, Justin, on Carmella?
No, I think you said it pretty good.
Yeah, really quick. It seems like you mentioned star power, and that's why maybe they worry that they wouldn't get no reaction in the match, so they added Charlotte, of course, to it because she knows she'll get that big pop because it's Charlotte Flair. And they won't let you forget she's Charlotte Flair.
Who is it again?
Charlotte Flair. Woo!
Now, all right, everybody, get your rating fingers ready. We're going to about to rate SmackDown Live again. Don't forget, we'll be live again on Thursday night, everybody. I know everybody's looking forward to Thursday night. We got NXT tomorrow. We got Tommaso Ciampa. He's going to be addressing the crowd now as the new NXT World Champion. That should be pretty good. And then we have EC3 taking on Kona Reeves. My boy, EC3. I'm just going to throw it out there. Me and him are Twitter buddies. Y'all don't forget that. And then also we got Impact on Thursday night.
Should be good.
Dr. Huge will be going on before Impact. We got the pre-show with Dr. Huge. We got the post-show here right after Impact is over. Got some huge matches going on. Dave, off the top of your head, do you remember the matches?
I know. What?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I do know it's going to be Pentagon and Phoenix versus OVE.
Yeah, that should be a good one. And then we got the Austin Aries match as well. And then we have the OGs on Impact as well. So it should be
I mean, there's one more thing, but it's not a big deal, but it's going to be Allie and Kara Hogan versus Sue Young and one of the Undead Brides.
That's right. That's right. Who do you have on more, EC3 or HBK? Whatever, man. Hey, EC3, man, he responded to my question, man. And now we're Twitter buddies, dude. That's the second time he's responded. I think that's okay to call him my Twitter buddy. So we'll be live Thursday night talking Impact and NXT, and then Saturday night, everybody will be live again for the Shoot the Shit show as always. And then, like I said again, in 2 weeks, I believe, or whenever 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I should say, after the week after SummerSlam, we will be going live on Sunday nights instead of Saturday nights. All right, Dr. Hughes, thank you again for the generous Super Hearts, man. I really do appreciate that. And we'll be going live on Sunday. So I hope everybody enjoys the change. It's going to be a little bit different. We'll be going on a little bit earlier. And we're going to keep the same format, keep the same stuff. We just feel like, like I said, Sundays is a little bit more of a freer show. It's going to be a little bit interesting to do how it's going to be when football comes along, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And so thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, thank you guys for the Super Hearts. Very generous tonight. Excuse me. I did forget to do SmackDown rating. You're very, very true on that. Dave, what did you think of SmackDown Live tonight?
I thought it was pretty good. I give it 2 pancakes.
2 pancakes. Okay. All right, Justin?
But yeah, it wasn't bad. I'll give it a 3.5.
3.5. I said Sunday Night Football, Red Sox fan. Obviously, my Bucks aren't going to fucking play on Sunday Night Football because they suck. I already know that. You're not telling me something I don't already know. So move on.
My team will be about 4 or 5 times.
Sheesh.
I know every freaking week the Cowboys are on TV, I swear.
I'll give SmackDown Live tonight a 4 because I thought pretty much all around SmackDown was pretty good. It had some of its, bad parts, but I thought overall it was a solid show. I enjoyed most of the matches on the show, and I'm curious to see what happens next week. It's going to be very, very interesting. But again, thank you guys for joining us. Unbelievable night. Over 2,000 live viewers. I didn't think we were going to hit that many viewers tonight, but you guys always amaze me. Red Sox fan, Jeffrey Cross, Truth and Loyalty. Truth and Loyalty. I hope you had a great birthday, as well as Jody Mania. They had birthdays this past week, so I hope you guys had a great birthday. Bob Aruski, Adam Austin, Anthony Ducks, Alice, the DC68, Arlo, Freddie. That's some kind of bot. I'm not even going to announce. Peck and Rod, Ted, Juanito, thank you again for the Super Hearts as well. And there's 8 more viewers who I can't see. Oh, my God. Who is this guy?
Hey.
Oh, my God. I can't block. Oh, there he goes. Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. Oh, my. How is he able to write so much? Holy moly.
God damn.
Jesus. What was that? What did he say? I'm not even. Wow. I'm sorry. We've just been rickrolled. I don't even know, man. We have had some unbelievable trollers tonight. Oh, wow. Periscope. It's crazy. But thank you guys again. If I didn't say a shout out to you guys, please say hello. Is Periscope on laptops now? You can watch Periscope on your laptop. Yeah. Who else? I didn't say hello to. Did I say hello to NoFX? I think I did. Yeah, I did. I said hello to Ted. He was on Scope. I was watching earlier. Oh, that dude. Wow, that was interesting. So thank you again, guys, for joining us as always. Y'all are always a great community. We'll be live Thursday night and Saturday night. Justin, Dave, any last thoughts before we jump off tonight and be back on Thursday?
I just hope everybody has a good rest of the week.
Dave?
Yeah, enjoy your couple days. See you Thursday.
Yes, everybody have a great hump day tomorrow, and we'll be back. Twitch, get on Twitch. I'm gonna start twitching a little bit more during the week. I won't be getting Twitch on tonight, but maybe tomorrow. Since there's no show tomorrow, maybe I'll be doing that. Yeah, I will, Kyle. Hit me up on Twitter. If y'all follow me on Twitter, I'll most likely will follow you back. Don't forget to follow us on the YouTube. Bob Ruski, we're working on that, my friend. Don't forget to follow us on the YouTube. We'll be on Twitch soon. And have a great Wednesday because we want to see you back with us on Thursday night. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Have a great one. Thanks, everybody.